good evening, good night, whenever you're watching this. Thank you for being here. I'm just going to dive in with the channeled messages and see how this goes. Hi, hello. First and foremost, the channeled song for today is My Immortal by Evanescence. The synchronicities, numbers-wise, is 555, 511, 1515, 123, 222, 1221, 2002, 3535, 2222, 1111, 44, 44, 77, 77, and 888. And other synchronicities include the Scarab, Cleopatra, you could be learning languages at this time, and Hermeticism. I don't know how all of that goes together, but we're going to find out today. We're going to find out. Hi, hello everybody. I'm going to roll the dice here to see what house this is in and what sign this is in. Hi, hello. First and foremost, we have the 9th house. So again, we're doing another reading in the house of philosophy, higher learning, and travel. And then we have, hello, sign, which is Leo. So Leo in the house of philosophy, higher learning, and travel. Could be some inner child healing, could be, like I said, you could be learning new languages at this time, you could be learning about other cultures, that type of thing, as well as learning like self-confidence, that type of thing that's also showing up here. So let's get into some runes for some more details and figure out what about this Leo in the 9th house. What about it? There's more spirit. Hello. Any more? Looks like we have 3. So first we have Tivas for justice, showing up first and foremost. Then we have Othala for legacy, interesting. And we also have Wunjo for joy. Justice, legacy, and joy. Interesting. Justice, joy, legacy. Leo in the 9th house. Okay. Let's see what the charms have to say. Hi, hello everybody. My denizens of the night, denizens of the early morning, I should say. I have it right here. I'm just trying to protect your eardrums. Thank you for the likes. Oh, looks like we have 3 today. So we have, first and foremost, the intuition charm here, the little crystal ball. So following intuitive nudges. Music could be super important to you at this time. It could be something you use in order to learn. Like I said, could be learning new languages, could be exploring new things of that nature. And then we also have the diamond in the rough charm. So we've also been through some stuff. Yep, because in order to get a diamond, you have to have intense pressure and heat. And even though this little diamond here is a little scuffed up, it's still worth a lot. It's just not polished, but that's fine. So let's see. Let's get into tarot and figure out what this is about. Very, very interesting. So, for everybody here who's new, how I do things, you don't have to pay me anything. You don't need to put questions in chat. As I do the collective reading, think your yes or no question if you have one. And as I pull, you will see the answer right here, okay? You don't have to put your business on the internet, alright? I'm only going to say that one time instead of all throughout the video because that's just annoying for everybody. So, think your question as I pull. This will be one big collective. This is not a personal, okay? Just think it, and as I go, I will let you know what the answer is. So, Spirit, tell me what is going on with the collective today in this realm of the house of higher learning, philosophy, and travel in the sign of Leo. And this justice, joy, and legacy. Fascinating. Thank you for the follows. Thank you. Tell me what's going on with the collective at this time. Oh my gosh. So we have yes. If you had a yes/no question, the answer is yes. A big resounding yes, because this is the card of recognition. is the card of recognition. So first and foremost, we're looking for success, recognition, satisfaction, victory. Like, this is a really great card to have, honestly. There's that Leo showing up again, and Jupiter for luck, abundance. Like, I mean, okay. Applause by Lady Gaga is playing in my head right now, and that's literally one of the words here is applause. So like, we're looking for our roses, our flowers, a parade. Fascinating. Tell me more. Around the Two of Cups as well. So learning more about relationships, give and takes. If you had a question, a yes/no question about a relationship, the answer is yes. This is a collective. As I pull, that's your answer, okay? I don't do personals. I don't like putting your business on the internet, okay? So yes, if you had a question about relationships, the answer is yes. Union, partnership, connection, harmony, compatibility. So yeah, we're looking for recognition, success around reciprocity, relationships. But again, this is the house of higher learning, philosophy, and travel. So learning more about connection with people. Interesting. Interesting. Thank you for the follows. Because that was the vibe yesterday, but it was a bit more negative. Our current, okay. So our current energy here. Thank you. Our current, no, I don't. I don't care what your gender is. It's irrelevant to me. Our current energy is we're looking for clarity. We're looking for truth here, right? So if your question is about knowing the truth, the answer is yes, okay? If it's about some sort of knowledge, information, the answer is yes. When I see cards horizontal like this, that tells me that's you're welcome. That tells me that's our current energy. So it goes back and forth, right? Clarity, new plans, intellectual ability, success, clear thinking, breakthroughs, versus lack of ideas, intellectual inability, hostility, exploitation, unclear thinking, haste makes waste. You can see it right here, okay? Please do not spam the chat. This is not a personal reading. This is a big collective reading, okay? So, we're trying to get clear on something. Like, again, we're looking for a recognition around relationships, around connection, around reciprocity. And it's like we're looking for a breakthrough here, some sort of clarity around this. Interesting. Hi! Moving on from something. If you had a yes/no question, your answer is no. Abandonment. Traveling. Escapism. Self-discovery. Oh! There's some self-discovery happening here. Okay. Hi, Sophia. So there is some self-discovery happening here, right? Because usually what this card represents is, you see all these cups here? It means that this person who has all this passion right here, this red means passion, they put a lot of time, energy, effort, and love into something, but they've left. Before they could put this fourth cup and continue building, they've left to go back on a journey into themselves. That moon there represents shining a light on things in the dark, getting more in tune with our intuitive side, with that crystal ball that came up here. A new journey. It's like leaving this behind to go somewhere else. Thank you, Spirit. If you had a yes/no question, your answer is yes. Okay? Yeah, there's some resilience here. Drained of energy. Close to success. And learning from past failures. So we could also be looking back at things from before and trying to gain some clarity around this in order to take new knowledge into the future. Thank you for the follows, and thank you for the likes. You don't need to spam the chat as I pull cards for the collective here. This big collective message, I will let you know if it's a yes or a no. You don't gotta tell me your business either. That's how I operate. I don't like putting people's business out there. I just doesn't sit right with me. If you had a yes, no question, your answer is no. Alright? I'm sorry if that's not what you want to hear. Yeah, we're learning some... We're trying to gain some clarity. Letting go of regret, end of stagnation, motivation. Seizing opportunities. Usually the Four of Cups is about... The Four of Cups is about apathy, right? You can see the little keyword right here. But this is in the reverse. Interesting. So it's like trying to find some clarity from the past, doing some self-reflection, introspection in order to learn from the past, in order to kind of take a new lesson and kind of head more towards recognition, towards surrounding ourselves with better people. Okay, all right. Let me see, just real quick here. There we go. Perfect. Tell me more, Spirit, about what's going on with the collective. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate you guys being here, really I do. I'm sorry if anybody... Nah, I'm not gonna explain myself. The Magician then reversed. Oh, frustration. Okay, I have all the resources I need, inner and outer. Usually the Magician is someone who's actively manifesting and they have everything they need. So there may be frustration here because we don't quite have what we're looking for. Also, if you had a question, a yes/no question, your answer is no. Especially if it relates to something you're actively manifesting or something of that nature. Thank you for the share. Appreciate it. I do see you guys. I do read the comments. I'm just also focused. So, I apologize. That's just part of my job. I gotta focus or we'll be here all day. Goodness gracious. Yeah, there's frustration here. There's a lot of obstacles, a lot of chaotic energy. Like everything, you saw everything just kind of fell out of my hands. Yeah, it's like I can't quite get a hold on stuff. The Star, healing. The universe shows me that I can have faith in my dreams. Oh, interesting. Recognition, there's that word again. Yeah, there's frustration here because we're not seeing faith in the future. Yeah, we have faith in the future, we're just not seeing anything just yet. If you had a yes or no question, your answer is yes. Okay, your answer is yes. Alright. Interesting. And Aquarius, yeah, that's about like humanitarianism, doing things a little different. Yeah. We're trying to find healing here, but there's frustration. Again, it's very similar to yesterday. There was frustration because we didn't feel like we'd healed enough yet. And I got that same vibe when I pulled the Oracle this morning of it not feeling like we're there yet. The Empress, though. The Empress came out. Connecting to the Earth reminds me that abundance is unlimited. The Empress card is... I mean, you can't really, if you had a yes/no question, especially if it relates to pregnancy, not everyone, if you didn't ask for it, don't take it, okay? If it's something you're wondering about, there's a yes here, okay? Because the Empress is that card. Wow, crazy of you to ask, okay? This is that card, okay? If you don't want to be, don't take that. But that's literally this card. Anyway. We're trying to become the Empress. The Empress is the, like, you can see her right here. She's surrounded by luxury. She's in her Venusian energy. She's She's chilling in her garden. She's great. She's abundant. She doesn't have to do much. Continued growth, material comfort, status, beautiful home, fertility, nurturing, creativity, beauty, femininity, all those types of things, right? And someone who is very much tapped into their sacral energy, so very creative. Yeah. It's like we're frustrated because we're not the Empress yet, or we feel like we're not the Empress yet. Oh, okay. We're frustrated because, yeah, that's what I felt like. Disruption, unwelcome change, delays, setbacks. I ride the waves of life, especially around this little Jupiter here. We don't feel like, oh, thank you. We don't feel like things are working out. And we don't know why. Okay, so that's kind of why we're going within and we're trying to look at things to figure out why we're in this repeating cycle around our fortune, our luck, that type of thing. If you had a yes/no question, it's maybe leaning towards no, okay? Yeah, it's like a continuous cycle of my luck is not meeting up. Yeah. Or it feels that way. It feels like we have bad luck. Tell me more. Yeah, we have all this inspiration. So if you have a yes/no question, your answer is yes. Especially if it relates to starting new projects, new inspirations, new motivations, that types of thing, okay? Thank you for the follows and the share. Thank you. New beginnings, good news, starting something. Inspiration. Frustration, some setbacks. We want to start something. We have motivation. Why do we feel like we're not there yet, though? That's kind of what I'm confused about. We're seeking that clarity. We're doing that introspection to learn more about ourselves. Maybe we recently got inspired to start doing this process? Please do not spam the chat. Thank you. The Fool card in the reversed. Okay. It's time to embark on a brand new beginning. We're inspired to do that. Oh, a fear of the unknown. We're worried that it's a poor judgment. We're worried that we're going to make a bad choice. If you've had a yes/no question, your answer is maybe leaning towards no. Interesting. Yeah, impulsiveness, risk, naivete, and inexperience. Oh, we don't feel experienced enough. Like I said, I don't feel like we know enough. So it's a little risky, scary. We're not ready to jump yet. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, tell me more. So we're trying to find that like breakthrough moment of when we feel ready. Ah. You're never gonna be ready. What are you talking about? You have to learn as you go. The moon. If you had a yes/no question, your answer is no. The moon card. The path may not be clear, but my intuition lights the way, one step at a time. The moon is all about intuition. Remember when I said we were leaving something behind? There's that moon right there. See him in the background? Intuitive nudge. An intuitive nudge to go towards something else, to learn more. Yeah, a little bit, misconception as well, insecurity showing up. Things are not what they seem. So we may feel like we have bad luck. We may feel like we're not quite ready, that we are not deserving of this recognition. And we're like looking for, like we're inspired to start, but we're afraid to start. So we keep learning. Yeah, it's giving analysis paralysis. Interesting. Thank you for the likes. Thank you. Analysis paralysis. I see the 9, which is the Hermit. So yeah, going within, shining a light on things. The Queen of Wands. If you had a yes/no question, your answer is yes. And there's that Leo again, and the Moon. The Queen of Wands is the manifestation queen. She talks all about inner power. It's basically being a baddie, being a badass. Good business sense, confident, helpful friend who's well liked, kind, loyal, generous. I mean, you can read it right there. That's who they are. They are confident within themselves. They are optimistic. They have their crown on. They have their wand with all their motivation, their willpower, their desire, that type of thing. And they listen to Spirit, the little black cat who protects them. Black represents protection and cats represent messengers of the divine. So listening to Spirit at the same time. Yeah, and there's that third eye chakra as well, vibrancy. So yeah, you don't quite see that you are already the Queen of Wands, that you are already the Empress. We're trying to figure out, am I ready? Am I healed enough to go do this new thing with the Page of Pentacles? The answer is yes, friend, you are ready. Especially if you're looking for a new venture into jobs, into finances. The answer is a big fat yes. It literally says new job, right? So it's like we're a little bit, yeah, open-minded person, student, scholars, one who's willing to learn, someone you can count on. I mean, what more do I need to say? That's you. You're someone that is willing to learn. This is literally the 9th house, philosophy, higher learning, and travel. Someone who is willing to look within, who's willing to learn, who is hungry for knowledge, who is not afraid to learn as you go. But we do have an issue with getting stuck in analysis paralysis. Have I learned enough? Do I know enough before I start? Let's do 3 more. Thank you. They already gave me 2. Yeah, and that's the self-sabotage, this shadow behavior with the devil showing up here. I am not a puppet. Depression, mental health issues, ego, obsession, dependency. The power of negative thinking, right? So there's that self-sabotaging behavior. Yeah, we're self-sabotaging our moving on from regret, from accepting help. So yeah, it's like I'm not the Empress, I'm not the Queen of Wands. I can't move on and do new things. I can't begin over. I can't chase after new things because I'm not this, I'm not that. But you are. That's your ego talking. Yes, the ego is not a bad thing. It's a protective measure that can become harmful at a certain point. It's the accumulated words from everyone else as you've grown, like all of their projections, all of their fear, all of that kind of stuff, their insecurities being told to you, so that's, goodness, how do I explain it? The ego is your shadow side, right? It's the part of you that says, like, it looks out for dangers in your life, and whenever you feel a little worried about doing something, it's the voice in your head that goes, well, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. It won't really be all that successful. It's not realistic, right? Those are the voices of the people from before who told you that kind of stuff, their perceptions, and you kind of took that into yourself. It's the self-doubt part of you. It's your little inner bully, right? It's a protective measure, but it sees everything as a huge, big issue instead of, like, it's the part of you that's still in the caveman era where everything is a saber-toothed tiger, and it responds to everything as a saber-toothed tiger. You know what I mean? So even if it doesn't really, like, it's a new job, you're afraid that being new at a new job is a bad thing when everybody expects the new person to be new. That kind of thing. No one expects an entrepreneur to know everything as soon as they start a business. Like, no, you have to learn as you go. But we often have this feeling of, I can't be new. I have to know everything before I start. I have to be ready enough. Yeah. Sideways here, community. In that, this is our current energy, right? Happy families coming home, celebrations, teamwork, success, community spirit, prosperity. Yeah, versus disapproval. So we're here. This big old transition, because I just noticed that there are only 2 sideways cards, which means that's the whole journey here, is finding that little breakthrough that leads us to the community and success that we're looking for. And it's traveling through all of this, leaving this behind, like leaving behind old thought patterns, getting away from regret, letting go of stuff, not listening to the self-sabotage, not feeling like our life is so unlucky and that we're incapable of bringing in new things to our life. Yeah, and realizing that we're the Empress and the Queen of Wands. Yeah, and there's the Page of Swords in the reverse. If you had a yes/no question, your answer is no, especially if it relates to the realm of communication. All right? Malice, hypocrisy, suspicion, problems. Yeah, problems. Curious. Yeah, it's like, because the tagline of this, sorry, I'm looking at it, is curiosity. But you strike me as someone who is curious, so clarify that for me, Spirit. Can you clarify this Page of Swords in reversed? Are we being a bit harsh towards new connections because we feel like we're not ready for them yet? Or are we just kind of like in the background watching everybody else? Can you clarify that for me? Because I'm getting the feeling of 2 different things here. Oh, they gave me 2. The side, oh, they gave me 3 actually. Oh, okay. So we have 3 different horizontal cards. Which again, as I said before, horizontal means current energy. It's back and forth, back and forth. We have the wish card, right? Going after our wishes, wishes coming true, realizing dreams, happiness, cheerfulness. The literal happiness card, the sun card here. And the mind prison. So the Page of Swords in reversed here. Problems, suspicion, yeah, restriction. I shine my light on the world around me and my radiance attracts more success and fulfillment. So yeah, it's kind of like, there's that Jupiter again. So it's, yeah, 2 different Jupiters. This is all about Jupiter, expansion, abundance, luck. We're currently sabotaging ourselves. We're being a bit harsh with new people. We're not really trusting in ourselves. We're not really being as curious as we could be. And that's the blockage right now, is we're kind of kneecapping that. Yeah, we're looking at everything. That's what it is. We're looking at every new opportunity, new relationship, new venture in our lives as we're looking for the issue. We're looking for the issue. We're waiting for the shoe to drop. We're searching for all the reasons why we should jump ship before we've even put a foot on the ship. Okay. All right. I got you. I'm putting away my yes/no cards for now, and I want to get into, I have the what, so I want to figure out why. Why? And I was getting a whole lot of Egyptian earlier and Hermetic stuff, so I'm gonna pull out the Egyptian tarot because that's relevant here. Hi! I did see your question earlier. I don't really do yes/no questions because, again, I don't like putting people's personal business on the internet. What I do for you guys, though, is to compromise. I pull out yes/no cards, and as I do the big collective reading, I will pull them out and I will let you know it's a yes or a no, right? I don't even need you to put the question in the chat because I don't need to know your business like that, okay? I do offer private readings at the link in my bio, and that's just me, you know, trying to keep people's business private. That's just me. But yeah, I've just put away my yes/no cards. Okay. So, Spirit, tell me why the collective needs to hear this at this time, please. The Eight of Pentacles in the reversed. We don't feel like putting a lot of work into this. Oh no, this is upright. I apologize. This is upright. So, this is upright. So you are working very hard. That's kind of the yeah, it's like this looked reversed to me, but it wasn't. So that really feels like it's the same energy here. It's like you're the Empress, you're the Queen of Wands, you're fully capable, you're fine, you're doing a great job. You have this issue though where you think you're not who you are. And it stems from somewhere. It's a self-sabotaging cycle. Yeah. I have bad luck. I am not capable. I waste my opportunities. What is this? Yeah, I am afraid of the unknown. I don't have good judgment. And we treat everything like a risk. Yeah. But you are a hard worker. I see the Eight of Pentacles. That's all about hard work. The Hierophant in reverse. And the Five of Swords here. So it's like, we work very hard, but we may not live a very, like, the things we do may not align with traditional values. It may be slightly different from what people expect, and that may, like, maybe we don't necessarily fit in, and that could be why. Yeah, we could have had issues with bullying growing up, and that could be why we feel this way. Which, if that's the case, I'm so sorry. I've been there, I understand. But yeah, interesting. Tell me more on why they need to hear this at this time. Because you're doing the introspection, which kudos to you, because not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of people actually go within and try to figure out, what do I need to work on within myself? Seven of Swords. Yeah, like there's a whole lot of, what the heck is this? There's that truth again. So there's that clarity. It's like surrounding us is all of this, which swords are thoughts and words. So it's like lies were being told, manipulations, bullying, people causing rumors. But then there's the truth right here. So you didn't fit in, but you're still a hard worker, and people, why else they need to hear this at this time? Like, you don't believe that you're as good as you are because of this mess. What? Tell me more, Spirit. The Knight of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, we don't romanticize our life. We feel like we can't have dreams. Like, we're not allowed to have dreams. Dreams aren't meant for us. So at some point someone told you that you can't have dreams. which was a lie. It was manipulation. It was all a bunch of bullshit. I don't have anything here that indicates to me personally, looking at all these cards, that that's true at all. Six of Pentacles in the reversed. Yeah, so like people who took a lot, people who took advantage. Could be past moody exes and lovers. Doesn't have to be, but that's also there. That would make sense why we're looking for recognition around connections and reciprocity, if that's the case. We have the Eight of Wands, though, which is like fast forward movement. So like we're working hard. We feel this way because of this. But this Eight of Wands means like a fast approaching motivation, fast approaching desires. Tell me more, Spirit. Because like I said, the Queen of Wands is the manifestation queen, as is the Empress. Tell me more, Spirit, on why they need to hear this at this time. I understand why you're looking for clarity, because this is a confusing energy. But there's, yeah, 8. 8. That's the number of financial abundance, so like, tell me why else they need to hear this at this time, Spirit. The Three of Cups in reversed. I don't like that. That usually indicates not good friends either. Yeah, the Empress popped out again. And the Fool card in the reverse. I have to cover her because the Egyptians had their bits out. The Eight of Wands for the Empress. Fast approaching stuff for the Empress. But why does this Fool keep showing up reversed? Let me look at this again. Impulsiveness. Naivete, fear of the unknown. Why are we so afraid of our new beginning? Why are we so afraid? The Empress, she's looking towards this Fool reversed. We cover her again. She's looking towards it. Why are you so afraid of it? Why? Tell me more. Because the Fool is all about new beginnings. The King of Pentacles in reversed. And the Ten of Pentacles in reversed. Yeah, we're looking at this new beginning and we feel like it's not stable, like it's not going to bring us stability. Fast approaching energy for the Empress. But it's like, sorry, I'm trying to ground here because this is confusing me as much as it is you, probably, where I'm like, what? No legacy, no King of Pentacles, no new beginning. It's like why? Tell me more. Why else? It's like we're afraid of it. We think it's not going to be that. Why? Thank you. The Queen of Cups. Oh, we're in our feelings. Yeah, we're letting the lion win. What this card means, the Strength card, right? This little lion here, that's the ego, that Leo. We don't. Hi, we're not confident in ourselves. We're the Queen of Cups. We're very much allowing the inner parasite to govern things. That's why we have that analysis paralysis. Like, stuff is building up. Yeah, the devil just showed up right after that. Yeah, that self-sabotaging behavior. Hold on. That self-sabotaging behavior, right, is governing everything. Yeah. Oh, I get it. I get it. So that's why we're looking at this new beginning like it's going to fail us. We're not going to get... That's why we're looking within. We're like, what is it in me? What am I doing wrong here? You're not doing anything wrong. The only issue you're having is that you're self-sabotaging. You keep being afraid of new opportunities. There's the death card. Yeah, they want you to knock that off. This is something that needs... Okay, we need to... You're clearly working on it, okay? We're searching for that clarity. This is the death card. It's not a literal death. It means transformation, okay? We're working on not... Like, it's giving overthinking. It's giving pessimism. It's giving constant negative think, right? We're working on not doing that so much. Yeah, leaving behind the anxiety and the nightmares. Because at this point, every time a new opportunity presents itself, we're waiting for the other shoe to drop, and that's actually blocking new things from coming in. Because instead of just sitting in our Empress energy and receiving the thing we asked for, when it comes up, we're so afraid it's going to be like someone's going to pull the rug out from under us, that we block the thing, that we delay the thing. And I can already feel people getting really nervous and going, well, what do I do about it? How do I fix it? You're already working on it, okay? You're working on it. Yeah, you're working on it. You're getting your priorities straight. Yeah, we're getting our priorities straight. We're trying to bring it in. It's a balancing act. Last one on why. Because it's clear to me that we're letting the voices that weren't ours to begin with, but they're talking in our voice now, we're letting that drive the ship. We're letting fear drive the bus. Yep. 2 just popped out, but that was very chaotic energy. The Emperor, yeah, we feel like we have no control over our life, so we go back and forth on this. We go back and forth. I don't have control over my life. Oh, there was actually 3. The Knight of Wands. Yeah, and then we get impulsive. We charge forward. We feel like we have no control over our life. And then we go to third parties. Yeah. Like we turn to friends we turn to external validation. The King of Swords in reversed. And the external validation, so 1, we're overcritical of ourselves, and 2, the external validation is hypercritical as well. But this is a cycle that you are completing. Sorry, I have to check, because the Egyptian cards, they really be playing, because half of them, their bits and bobs are out, and half of them, they're covered. But this is a cycle we've been repeating for some time, and we're working on breaking the cycle, okay? We're working on breaking the cycle. I've already put my yes/no cards away, so I'm not answering those at this time. So that's our why. So right now, we're in this moment of looking for that clarity, building that community, building that stability, that foundation, that more stable home life, more stability in ourselves as well. Because like we don't feel like we are who we are, and it's causing us to over self-sabotage. So let's see. I'm feeling mythos. I want to get into what you even need to do about it. Thank you for sharing the live. Goodness. What you need to do about it, because I have the what and I have the why, and that's super vague. And like I just said, I felt anxiety when I got into we're blocking our manifestation, and this is supposed to help give you some more practical advice. Okay, we feel small, we feel really small and in a box, but again, you're in a golden box. Okay, you're in a little golden box here. So this box you're putting yourself in, you're not aware that you're in a golden box. You can get out of the box now. You don't need to be in there. You're not even in a normal box. You're in a gold one. So that should tell you who you actually are. Thank you for the follow. Spirit, what do they even need to do about this? I don't want them to feel so anxious. So what do they need to do about it? Instead of panicking. Sideways. Okay. So we're sideways. This is the Five of Pentacles. This is the victim card, okay? This is the forever broke, forever suffering. You know, has her face turned. She's hiding in the corner. We keep going back and forth on here, leaving behind that thought process and going right back into that process, right? Based off of lies. Based off of lies that we've heard from someone else, telling ourselves these lies as well. Around our stability. Around, yes. So continue working on this. Continue healing this. Because at the back of it all, you're going to get your Ten of Pentacles. We've already seen it. Right? It's in the reverse because we keep blocking it, and that's the main issue, is they want you to keep working on this, right? Keep working on this belief that you're unable to obtain it. Because who told you that lie? You literally got justice, joy, and legacy in the runes here. And the charm that you're a diamond in the rough. Like, you're actually a diamond, though. So, I don't know why. Well, I do. Because you were probably bullied, or you had people who told you that you weren't worth shit, even though they didn't know what they were talking about. Yeah, Page of Swords. So, get curious. So, we need to get curious on what's hiding in the dark, okay? I know you can't see him super well because of the lighting, but here. Get curious on what's lying in the dark over here, because there's something that we're not looking at, right? The Page of Swords upright, I will show you. Right? Significant information, logic, fairness. One who's calculating, one who's mentally quick and subtle, right? Someone who's curious. Someone who embarks on new information. They like to learn. They're hungry for knowledge. They're fine with trial by fire. They are fine with learning as they go. Okay? So this fear of starting new projects, we need to get curious. Why do I have this fear? Why do I feel like I'm incapable of doing things? Because even if you are someone who doesn't have a lot of finances, if you're still able to feed yourself at the end of the month, if you're still able to make it barely, just barely, then you are perfectly capable, because you've still been feeding yourself, you've still been taking care of yourself, even if it's not exactly to your ideal. So, hi! Thank you for the likes. So there needs to be some curiosity here. Why do I feel like that? When did I start accepting that? Justice, joy, and legacy. Which are things that apparently we feel like we can't bring into our life. Spirit disagrees. Tell me more, Spirit, on what they need to do about it. You're welcome. I'm not answering yes, no's at this time. Yeah! Around our happiness. The Sun card came out again. Get curious. Get curious. We have some more of these. The sideways cards, and they're all major arcana cards. That's crazy. That's 4 of them. 4 major life changes. Happiness. So get curious, right? Why do I feel like I don't have any power over my life? Why do I feel that way? I've been able to keep myself alive for this long. So why do I feel like I haven't? Why do I feel like I'm not the emperor? Why do I feel like life is unfair? Right? Yeah, justice and temperance. Why do I feel like my life is unfair? Why do I feel like I can't get a hold of anything? That's going to help you. Figuring out why you specifically feel that way, even though you're still alive after all these years, even though you managed to make it somehow. Why are you so afraid of starting new things? Why do you feel like you're not capable enough? Why do you feel like you can't do it? Who told you that nonsense? Yeah. The Empress and the Fool again. That is 3 Empresses in a row. What? Okay, if it's family, why are you believing them? Who made them the god of everything? Why are they correct? They're not. They're just people. The Empress and the Fool in the reversed again. No, the Empress has been upright this whole time. Happiness. The Empress in the reversed and the Fool in the reversed again. The Fool's been in the reversed 3 times in this read. That feels like a mother figure made us feel like we are afraid of beginnings. It also could be, if it's not a mother figure, we really need to look into why we are so afraid of receiving the thing we asked for. And even if you're like, I'm not afraid, why do you keep telling yourself you don't deserve it? Why do you keep telling yourself, I have to be this in order to receive the thing I want? I do see you asking for personal reads. I don't do those. Not on live. No, I don't like putting people's business out there. If you want a personal read, I do that at the link in my bio, okay? That's what I do. I don't like putting your business out there. That just does not jive with me, okay? And I've already put away my yes/no cards, so I'm not answering those at this time. This is one big collective reading. Yeah, why am I afraid to... Yeah, Queen of Wands in the reversed. Why am I so afraid of my own manifesting power? Why am I so afraid? Why do I feel like I can't leave? Yeah, the Queen of Wands in reversed. Who told me this lie, and why am I believing them? Yeah, they don't want you to be in this anxiety, okay? They don't want you to be in this nightmare scenario. They don't want you to be perpetuating it inside of your own head. And they want you to let the tower fall. Okay? They want you to let the tower fall. If that means walking away from something extremely harmful, going to a shelter, then do it. But it needs to happen. Because this current situation isn't it. Yeah, this feeling of I want all my memories to go away. Right? We go between I really want to forget everything that's ever happened to me. I want to just forget everything ever happened, versus letting that go, versus letting go. Because it's like we're trying to do that, and we keep having the obstacles, but it's still coming to us. We're blocking it somehow. Because we're afraid to receive the new beginning. I mean, that's what I'm getting here. Let's see. Tell me more on what they need to do about it at this time. Thank you. Okay. The Ten of Swords is betrayals. The Ten of Swords is betrayals. This means that you're also betraying yourself. You're using your own thoughts and your own words to betray yourself. Every time you tell yourself, I'm not worthy of this, you betray yourself. Every time you believe the things that they tell you, you betray yourself. Part of, like, the whole point of finding the clarity is getting into yourself and asking these questions and realize how you're contributing. How am I allowing that cycle to continue? What can I do about it at this point in time? I'm really sorry you're going through that, friend. I don't even know how to begin to help you. I'm not a cop. Other than walking away. Yeah. On the other side of that is your happiness, the Ten of Cups. And there's this Four of Cups here, which Four of Cups again is that apathy. So every time we go into the apathy of feeling like, ugh, I'm never gonna get it, my life is always gonna be this way, we betray ourselves, and that blocks our happiness. We need to get into the truth here, right? We need to be very honest with ourselves. Which is not a fun thing to do. I'm gonna be for real with y'all. It's not fun to do, to be honest with yourself, but it's also the best thing you can do for yourself. Because if you're like, why do I allow this treatment? Why do I allow people to talk to me this way? Why am I accepting it? Why do I believe them? So even though I know they're talking at me sideways, why am I telling myself this? Why am I allowing it to continue? Why am I telling myself that? You know, why am I being my own bully? And that's when you start changing, like when you start breaking the cycle. Yeah, why am I listening to people who don't even like me? It's like, I'm aware, yeah, they don't want you to work with that. They don't want you to work with that at all. No, they want you to make plans. They want you to make plans in order to get away from that. Right? Because the more, like, we know we're not in a situation that we want to be in. We know we want to leave it. We're trying, it's like I'm trying to fix myself to solve the problem, even though I'm surrounded by people who are perpetuating the problem. But I keep thinking that what they're saying is true when it's not. So why am I still telling myself the things they're telling me? Why am I listening? Why am I believing it? Yeah, use your logic brain. Like, you have your own brain. You don't need to be telling yourself this stuff. Just because you popped out of that person, just because you've known them for 30 plus years, doesn't mean that what they say is true. The Two of Swords in reverse. We need to use our brain and stop being in analysis paralysis. Make the plans. Make the plans to leave. Make the plans to leave. If you need to leave, leave. Even if it means on your own 2 feet. That's for who it's for. But yes, the King of Swords, right? I told you before, the external validation we keep going to is hypercritical. The King of Swords in reversed is hypercritical. right? Not only are the external hypercritical, but now we're hypercritical of ourselves, which serves nothing, which does nothing. All it does is cause more pain and suffering. So instead of the outside world being mean and horrible, now we're being mean and horrible to ourselves. That's what we need to address. Why am I telling myself the same thing they are? Why am I listening to them? Why? Yeah, the Four of Pentacles. Why am I holding on to it? Why am I repeating it? Yep. That's where the block is. The more we parrot what they say, the more we say it to ourselves, the more it becomes the repeating words in our subconscious, and the more that it becomes our reality. Because now our subconscious believes it, right? It becomes our reality. It repeats over and over and over and over again. Never-ending cycle. If we want things to change, we have to start within. Because the longer that we continue to accept that treatment, the longer we parrot those words, the longer that we stay there, the longer we feel like we deserve it, the longer we continue to allow them to do it. And that's not victim blaming or shaming, okay? That's how it works. Because you never deserved it in the first place, and you shouldn't be continuing to put up with it. Yeah. This antsy, restless behavior. So the longer we sit with it, the longer we hold on to it, the more we accept it as our own, the more restless and antsy we feel, because we can feel and we can tell that something's off, that we deserve more, that there's more out there for us, but we keep blocking it. And it continues the cycle of, there's more further out me, I deserve more than this, why can't I get out of it? It's because we won't leave. We won't get up out of the situation. We won't change our mindset. We keep repeating it. So it starts there. That's the clarity you're wanting. That's how you fix it. Why am I listening? Why am I listening to them? So, yeah, goodness gracious. So, I'm being called to get into the Oracle Advice cards. Gosh, heavy energy today. Before I do that, though, I like to do a quick recap for the video I post after this. That's for anyone who can't make the lives. I always do a short summarized video. It requires me to do a quick recap. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to give me anything. All I ask is for a moment of patience. That's really it. So, thank you for your patience. And that's the recap. Goodness gracious. So let's get into the Oracle Advice cards and see what, oh goodness. I'm not yelling at y'all, I promise. I'm really not. These are things I wish I would have said to myself back in the day. So I hope you're hearing me. I hope you're hearing it. And I know, it's easier said than done. I know. But I did it, so you can do it. And the only difference between me and you is I'm in my meat suit and you're in yours, okay? Alright? So, who wants to talk? I'm feeling. Who wants to talk? I'm just looking at my oracle cards over here. Spirit animal. Thank you for the likes and shares. I appreciate you, I really do. Easier done than said. And I know it sucks. It sucks when the only answer I have to give is stop listening, but it's true. Alright. Spirit. Let's ease their fears, soothe their anxieties, and give them some advice on how to proceed forward on their path, on their journey. if you see my face, I'll answer your question in just a second, Peter. If you see my face, it's my intention that if you see my face, if you stumble across any of my videos, whether live or anywhere else on the internet, that the weight, some of the weight gets removed from your shoulders. That you leave this video, this live, feeling lighter, feeling more clear, being able to walk in your purpose. So, let's give that to them, Spirit. Help me give them the guidance that they need, the clarity that they need, and to lift some of the burden off of their shoulders. Thank you, Spirit. The difference between Oracle and Tarot. Tarot is based off of, well, honestly, the only real difference is that there's two. Tarot cards have a set number of cards, right? They have a very specific amount of cards, and they follow the same rule set of major arcana, as well as minor arcana. Am I teaching tarot? Not really. I would love to, but I just kind of answer as we go. I have some plans to teach if people are willing to learn. I would love to teach it. I've been doing it for 6 years, so I feel like I have if you want to learn from me, I'm happy to teach it. But tarot has its own specific rule set. And oracle cards, the sky's the limit with oracle cards. You can use all kinds of symbolism. You can use many different cultures that are open practice, whatever have you. You can create your own. And they're used more as intuitive nudges, right? Like, I made my own. You write on it and thank you. I'm a spicy little meatball. But yeah, you can use symbolism of any types, numbers, colors, anything, in order to give more messages, right? Tarot has a very specific rule set. You can use intuitive, you don't have to learn it in order to do it, but that's the real only difference, is that one has a specific rule set and a specific amount of cards, and the other one, sky's the limit. So, let's get into it. Yeah, I like to think I'm a little bit polarizing, but I'm a Queen of Swords, okay? I'm not here to pull punches, I'm not here to sugarcoat shit, I'm just not. You're welcome. If you want to hear the truth, I'll give it to you, even if you don't like it. Because it's how I talk to myself, okay? The way I talk to y'all is the way I talk to me. Because sometimes Spirit be yelling at me, and I'm like, okay. So... some closing advice from my collective here to help them on their path forward, to navigate this really heavy energy, to reclaim their power, put their crown back on, and walk forward in their purpose. Make your dreams real. People are afraid of spiders, but spiders are misunderstood, right? Yes, they can be very predatory. Yes, they can be creepy. But spiders are also the ultimate creators. They make beautiful, intricate designs out of nothing. Out of thin air, out of little silk. Who even knows why they make such beautiful webs? It's for practical reasons, but they're gorgeous, right? Same thing. As I said before, you're more in control of your life than you think you are. Many people won't believe it. That's fine. We're in a 3D. We live in a 3D world. Yeah. That's kind of what we're taught. We're taught that we don't have control over our lives. But if you start learning about spirituality, if you start learning about the Kabbalion, if you start learning about the stuff, you learn that actually you are. And science is beginning to prove it. You are the author of your life. You hold the pen. It starts in here. What you believe, what you say, becomes what your subconscious believes. And what your subconscious believes becomes your reality. It colors your perception. Make your dreams real. Be like the spider. We are manifestors. Humans are here to manifest. We're here to create. That's our purpose. I am, I create. And you can create anything, even if you don't think you can. Just because you don't believe it doesn't mean it's not true. Like, think about it. All the thing that I'm talking to you on, the phone, the tablet, the computer, whatever it is, it didn't exist at one point, but it does now. That's what we're here for. I know, that could be the first time any of you have ever heard it, and it sounds super woo and crazy, and that's fine. That's fine. It sounded crazy and woo to me at first, too. Hello, Pauline. More closing advice from my collective here. Thank you. Sometimes life stings. I know, no one wanted to hear that. What this card means specifically is that we don't need to figure out why people do what they do. People are stuck in their own matrix, they are stuck in their own realities, and they just do shitty things. Hurt people, right? We can give them excuses all day long, who cares? They're still choosing to do that in this moment. And you don't have to put up with it. And use your mind wisely, the little piggy here. We're currently using our mind, our manifestation brain, the creator part of our body. We're using it to continue to perpetuate the same cycles. We keep listening to someone else's words in our voice and accepting that as our reality. They're telling you to use that big beautiful brain of yours for other things. Turkey spirits, give with gratitude and grace. Yeah, so this touches back on what I said earlier, how we're eyeballing new opportunities, new people, and we're kind of looking for all the reasons why they're a bad person, why we should be afraid of them, why we should cut ties with them before we've even had our first conversation. That's part of using our mind for bad things. For, not bad, that's not the word I want to use. We're using our mind to continue the cycle. We see new people, we decide that the only people we attract are evil people, are people who have bad intentions. So we push away people who haven't even had the chance to love us yet. People who could have been a perfectly good person, but because we are going off of trauma brain and deciding, oh, well, they look nice, but when will the mask fall off, right? I better put up a wall preemptively. We hurt ourselves and possible connections, opportunities that could be actually really good for us. I'm not saying to let everybody in, but you're smart. You're smart. You have that discernment. You're able to see. You've encountered it enough that if you see the pattern, you can leave a lot faster. Alright? You can still, you don't have to shut everything and everyone out. No new things, no new friends, no new anything. I'm just going to sit here and wonder why nothing ever changes. It's because nothing ever changes. I'm still allowing the same stuff. I haven't accepted any new energy. I haven't let anything go, and I haven't accepted anything new. More closing advice from the collective here, Spirit. And be playful in the reverse. Yeah, we don't tap into our playful energy. We don't get into our whimsy. We sit in the suffering, we sit in the dark, we sit in the, and we sit there. We don't ever do anything for ourselves either. So instead of enriching our mind, instead of tapping into things that make us feel happy, we just kind of sit in the suck and we just kind of let it permeate into our being. We have no distraction from it, right? We don't do anything to change our thought process, and then we wonder why everything's the same. Co-create with spirit. Yes! Free will must be respected. The universe has to meet you where you're at. If you're telling them that you don't deserve new opportunities, they can't give you any. They hand it to you, you block it, okay, and they go and they come back around eventually and see if you've changed your mind, right? They have to meet you where you're at. Now they can do things like tower moments where stuff happens to see if you'll choose different, right? But they have to respect your free will. If you keep telling the universe, yourself, your subconscious, your inner self, I don't deserve nice things, I deserve this treatment, it will continue and continue and continue, because we are here to create. The whole point of spirit is to help with the creation. I am, I create. Cause and effect, they have to meet us where we're at. If we are not open to new things cannot come in. If we're not willing to let go of old cycles, we will stay in the old cycle. They can't force it. If they force it, they are violating the one big overarching law in that free will must be respected. If they go over that, they're no longer respecting your free will, and then what's the point? Yes, exactly. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's how it works. Act as if. Like I said, you gotta start somewhere, right? We gotta start somewhere. You're already working on it. I've already tapped into that. You've already noticed my life doesn't, I deserve more than this. But I have an issue with when new things come in, I block it off. So what do I do? Well, we start with how we talk to ourselves. We start with how we think. So instead of repeating the same stuff that other people have told us, that we believed, that we chose to believe, we have to start saying different things, right? If they say you aren't shit, well, first and foremost, who are they and why do they get to decide? Secondly, we come in and we say, actually I am. I've kept myself alive, I've fed myself, I've made things work. So clearly I'm more capable than what they're talking about. Because we have a big logical brain and we have pattern recognition. If they're always turning to you to fix the problem, then maybe you're more capable than they're telling you. Yeah, and I don't mean you have to think only positive thoughts. You can have feelings, okay? You can still manifest, you can still call things in while feeling feelings, okay? You don't want a toxic positivity or spiritually bypass. You're like, no, that's its own cycle of toxicity, okay? We don't want to do that, right? It's okay to not be sure. It's okay to not be ready. It's okay to still be on shaky feet while you walk the path, okay? The main focus is every time those thoughts come in where you're parroting those words is to notice and to correct it, right? Because those aren't your words. Those are not you. That's somebody else in your voice now. That's your shadow side trying to protect you from new things, right? Because we have something happened where when that new thing happened, that person said that thing. Now we're in a guilt shame loop where we go, oh God, I did it again, right? No, don't do that. Yeah, time to collaborate in the reverse. Yeah, spirit wants you to work with them. We keep blocking it. We keep saying, I want change, but when change comes in, we refuse the change. Time to heal. 55. I've seen so many fives. Change. Spirit's trying to bring that change in. They need for you to do the inner work, to keep doing the inner work, okay? They need for you to do that. It's not easy, right? In order to become the butterfly, you must go into the chrysalis and become the goo. You have to be the goo. It's not a fun process. It's painful. But if you want to be the butterfly, you have to be the goo. We have to get in there. We have to unlearn the things we were taught. And relearn. Actually, who am I? right? Everyone, like, we spend all of our lives being told who we are and what we should be. And it's so funny because once we reach adulthood or whenever we decide to wake up, that's when we start unlearning all of that stuff and we start getting back into ourselves and we start going, but who am I? I forgot along the way. And we start learning who we are. Go into that goo. There's nothing wrong with being in the cocoon. That's the healing part. That's the being in the cocoon away from external influences that are going to, like, away from the painful external influences who will keep you stuck in the goo. We have to go really quiet within. We have to do that on the inside. Anything that tells us that we're not this, we're not that, we don't need to be listening to it. We need to get into here and say, but who am I? And stop listening. If they're like, you're not dependable, are you? Spirit says you are, so they're full of shit. You know? Sorry, I just noticed that. I want to fix it because I don't want to catch that on fire. There we go. Let's do 2 more. Yeah, believe in yourself. I don't gotta say that much. The cards are doing what they're doing, okay? What I say, believe in yourself. Like the little squirrel. Did you know that the squirrel buries all those little acorns and nuts? And they're gonna forget over, what, 50% of where they are? But they still manage to make it through the winter. Same thing, friend. It doesn't matter how ready you are. It doesn't matter how experienced you are. It does not matter if you're this, if you're that. Like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're still fed. Somehow. Somehow you make it. Even if you don't really have a plan and you're going by the seat of your pants, okay? You still somehow make it in the end. So you need to believe in yourself. You need to stop listening to these people who, even though they say you're not capable of doing stuff, they still turn to you in every crisis situation. What does that mean? Last 2, Spirit, and then I'll release you to the wilds. Like, make it make sense. How am I not capable? How am I not worth anything? But whenever you need something, you come to me. Make it make sense. So pick one. If I wasn't, you wouldn't be coming to me. You would be leaving me alone. But you need me for literally everything. So make it make sense. Oh, that almost came out, but did not. Almost there. 2 more. Yeah, keeping it quiet. Keeping it to yourself as you do this work. No, we're not gonna... Hold on, y'all. We're not gonna come in here and scam people in my life. Be gone. No. There it is. Let spirit be your guide. Let spirit be your guide. Those intuitive nudges that you get. Listen. Listen to the whisper, not the screaming. Listen to the whisper. The whisper is you. The whisper is your intuition. It's spirit. Let them be your guide. They want to co-create with you. They want to give you the things that you're asking for. Let them help you. Last one. Yeah, they gave you 2. That's so cute. The butterfly. 11. Transformation. Transformation. Transformation is beautiful. We're in the goo. We feel like we'll never be the butterfly, like we'll be in the goo forever. No. Every chrysalis has to become a butterfly, okay? You're gonna be the butterfly. It's already guaranteed. The rune already said, justice, joy, legacy. It's already guaranteed. Right now we're the rhino. Overcome any obstacle. Yes, we've gone our whole lives smacking our head into the wall, expecting the wall to move, right? Now we're learning to move to the right because the wall ends at some point, right? To handle obstacles different, leave the obstacle behind, to transform, right? We think we're always going to be stuck smacking our head against the wall. No. Clear out the clutter. I told you, stop listening. Whatever. And there's the Scarab. That was one of my synchronicities that I said earlier. Look, there it is right there. Rebirth. Scarab. Rebirth. Magic works through you. I'm done. Clear out the clutter. Whatever makes you feel like you're not magical, get rid of it. Easier said than done, I know, but I'm so serious right now, okay? Whatever is causing you all that dark energy around your heart that makes you really feel like you're not shit, get rid of it. Get back into your creativity, get back into that beautiful root chakra, get back into this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful coloring. You are the, like, look at this beetle. That's you, friend. The Scarab represents transformation, power, and rebirth. It does. You're gonna come out of that cocoon an absolutely gorgeous little butterfly. The same colors. I'm telling you. First, you have to believe that you're the beautiful butterfly. You have to believe that you're this. Listen to the whisper, not the screaming, not the yelling, not the loudness. The whisper. I'll say it forever and ever and ever. Anxiety, fear, and panic is loud. Intuition whispers. It's very quiet. In order to hear it, you have to get rid of the noise, get rid of the external. Stop listening to people who don't know what the hell they're talking about. So, that's all I have for you today. I hope it was helpful. I hope it was helpful. Last one. This and that are true. Like I said, you can go through. You can have your emotions and still bring about everything that you've ever wanted. Okay? You can still do it. You can be the butterfly, even if you don't feel like the butterfly. Alright? You can do that. So yeah, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your reader, for giving me your time, your energy. I really appreciate it. And as heavy as this energy was, I still had a good time. If you are interested in a personal reading, I offer those at the link in my bio. It's not clickable. You need 1,000 followers on TikTok in order for it to be clickable. I'm almost there. We're so close. Best believe once I hit it, it'll be clickable, I promise. But yeah, that's where I offer those. I'm happy to answer anything at the link in my bio. Yeah, more than happy to help whoever needs it. But yeah, feel free to check it out. You're welcome. And yeah, if you're watching in the YouTube when I post this later, that link will be in the description box down below. Feel free to check it out, see if I vibe with you. If I do not, and this is the last time I see you, thank you for your time, your energy, for choosing me to be your reader. I wish you so much love, luck, abundance, joy, prosperity, health, wealth, and healing on your journey. Please, please, please remember that life is an ever crooked path and you are never off of it, okay? If you have chosen to follow me and you do like my vibe, thank you. You're amazing, the greatest. I really can't put into words how much I appreciate you. And I wish all the same for you, always. Always the same for you. If you're in my collective, you'll get it. You'll get it. Okay? Mark me. You'll get it. alright? If you're in my collective and you support me, you will get it, because that's my intention. My collective will be as blessed as I am, and I am shooting for beyond the stars, I promise you that. So yes, I wish all that for you, and yeah, I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!